Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, I have new followers. I'd like to thank you for following me. As always, if you were not following me, please follow me. And of course, make sure you comment under this video, and I will do another comment section reaction video. So that is what we're doing today. We're going to react to some more comments, because why not? It's fun to do while we wait for people to lift heavy shit. So the first one I'm going to go to is Tom Higgins 875. Thor's 501 deadlift was sanctioned by World Ultimate Strongman and is recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records, which is very reputable and carries a lot of weight for me. Now, World Ultimate Strongman for me doesn't carry a lot of weight, and the reason for that is because I feel that they have blackguarded a lot of athletes. Remember as well, World Ultimate Strongman was named literally just to wind up Ultimate Strongman, which belonged to Glyn Ross. That's literally where that name came from. It was just denied Glyn Ross. The second thing about World Ultimate Strongman is I would not let them carry a lot of weight. I've no respect for them, as in their last competition, where I think Matis Kilikovsky won and Novikov came second, or maybe Novikov won, I'm not 100% sure on the placings. No one was paid at a competition, so they flew out to Dubai or wherever the competition was on, broke their holes at the competition, and I know for sure Matis and Novikov weren't paid. I'm not sure about the rest of the athletes, but the two guys that came first and second were not paid. And do you know what? To me, that's shit. When you start treating athletes like shit, that for me is that's where I draw the line. You're a cunt basically after that, if you're going to be treating athletes like that. Plus, the shit that happened in between that, we all know the phone call that was recorded by Wuss and Luke, which was released the night before World's Strongest Man took off, which to me is such a fucking low thing to do. So no, that doesn't carry a lot of weight for me. You also said the Guinness Book of Records, and I'm just going to read out the Guinness Book of Records statement on Thor's deadlift. First, I'd like to say as well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Thor. I'm not slating him. I'm a huge fan of him. He's one of the greatest strongman athletes that has ever graced our strongman stage. So let me just say that firstly. And I do believe that he deadlifted 5'1" also as well, before any of you fucking run off with that. So here's the Guinness Book of Records statement. The heaviest deadlift is 501 kg, 1,104.5 pounds, and was achieved by Hafthor Julius Bjornsson, Iceland, at Thor's Power Gym. I'm not even going to pronounce the area, in Iceland, on May 2nd, 2022. Hafthor Julius Bjornsson, famed for not only his incredible strength but also his role as the Mountain in the Game of Thrones. I love the Game of Thrones, by the way, and I loved watching him in it. Completed a staggering 501 kilogram deadlift in an attempt sanctioned by the world's ultimate strongman. Hafthor, aka Thor, beat Eddie Hall's 2016 500 kilo deadlift by 1 kilogram. However, are you listening? However, Eddie's lift remains the heaviest ever in strongman competition. So there you go. So they also recognised Eddie Hall as being the heaviest in competition, which is what we really care about. And that's what I'm saying is, Thor's wasn't in competition, Eddie's was. That's the only difference between them. So we have to, if we're going to recognise an outside lift that wasn't in competition, we can't carry it into competition, can we? Or can we? I wouldn't. Moving on. So the next comment. You are misrepresenting Thor's complaint, though. Thor's issue was not the Viking press. That's what Eddie's hit piece documentary made it out to be, to make him look bad and put Eddie over. Thor's actual issue was the event selection and sudden event changes that favoured Eddie. Now listen here, cunts, because it took me a bit of digging to find out what it was. So the first thing is, you said here, Thor's issue was the event selection, right? Let's just go to the event selection. World's Strongest Man was tire flip, squat for reps, Viking press, plain pull, max deadlift, and stones. And if you put that down on paper, I can guarantee you before the competition kicked off, you could say that Thor was going to win that competition, because there's a load of events in there that suited Thor. Also, right, a Europe Strongest Man, which is a couple of weeks previous to this, the Europe Strongest Man events were bust pull, which was there at World's Strongest Man, max axle press, no that wasn't there, but we had a Viking press, flip and drag, which was at Worlds, deadlift was at Worlds, I know it was deadlift for reps versus max, Eddie Hall won both either way, Car walk was at Europe's Strongest Man and stones. Now, Thor won at Europe's Strongest Man. They're literally similar events at World's Strongest Man. So the event selection was not picked for Eddie. In fact, right, the only difference there was the car walk and the plane pull. Eddie Hall won the car walk in Europe's Strongest Man, where he didn't win Europe's Strongest Man, and he won. Thor won the plane pull at World's Strongest Man, so Eddie Hall lost out there in that event selection. And you know, because I've been watching this all morning and just trying to research on all this stuff, Thor lost 2017 World's Strongest Man in the squat event. If you look at the results from the squat event, so Eddie Hall won the squat event. He got 15 reps, and as we know, Thor has proven that he's a stronger squatter than Eddie Hall. I think the most Eddie Hall has ever squatted is 380 or 400. I know we've never seen him max out in a squat, but we know that Thor can squat 460 kilos. But Thor squatted 12 reps, and unlucky for Thor, second, third, fourth, fifth all got 13 reps, which was Druins got 13, Lissus got 13, JF Caron got 13, and Brian Shaw got 13. That means that when Eddie Hall won that event, he got 10 points, and everyone after that got 7.5, which means Eddie got 2.5 points more than everyone else. Thor got 12 reps, which means he placed down in 6th place, which means he didn't get as many. He would have scored really low points, and he shared it with 7th place as well. So he scored 4.5 points in that event. So he lost out 5.5 points in that event, which is where he lost, in my opinion. And that's through no one else's fault. It's literally just lost fair and square, in my opinion. And the sudden event changes that favoured Eddie. So here's the event change that favoured Eddie, apparently. So it took me a little bit of digging to find out what this was. So the event change was, it was meant to be, as it was in Europe's Strongest Man, it was meant to be a tire flip and drag, okay? Now, they switched the tire flip and drag at World's Strongest Man to a tire flip only. Again, Thor won the event, so it made no fucking difference to Eddie. Eddie came 5th, Thor was 2nd at that event at World's Strongest Man. And the reason they took it out was not to benefit Eddie. The reason they took it out was because in the heats, there was a drag, and the drag was not working out. It was a complete disaster, and this happens a lot at World's Strongest Man. And the best way to deal with that was to get rid of the event. It was the easiest thing to do because it was a 2-event, and the easiest thing was just to eliminate the drag. So, incorrect again. You lose again. So that didn't benefit Eddie because, like, Eddie still came 5th at that event, Thor came 2nd. So your comment is invalid. So next one. Mitch just posted that he will be pulling 5 of 5 and he wants to do battle with Thor for it. This is something I can get behind. This is something that I want to see happening straight away. Now, I spoke to a few people and I don't think it's going to happen until early next year, but it's going to be early next year. And Thor and Mitch will be doing battle for it. I think they're looking for sponsors, and rightly so. They should be getting paid all the money to do this lift. It's a lift that is easily going to take 10 years off their lifespan. So I'm looking forward to this, and I actually believe the both of them are going to pull it, and it will push beyond it. I hope there's a plan in place that if they both pull 5 of 5, that they come to an agreement and try and break that record again, so we can fucking leave it alone for a while. Next one. Why is it only Thor's lift that has been put under such scrutiny? The reason is because technically it's the lift that still stands. And like another reason is it's one of the lifts that everyone can associate with. Everyone knows what a deadlift is. I know there was attempts made on the log record and the stone record let's be honest here, no one really cares about them records, do we? If you ask a Joe Soap on the street what a stone lift is, he will not be able to tell you what it is. And the same thing for a log press. No one gives a fuck, to be honest. No, it's not that they don't give a fuck. It's just most people can associate and know what a deadlift is. That's why it's under such scrutiny. And obviously Thor's a massive name. Eddie Hall is a massive name. That's the reason why it's under scrutiny. So there you go. I hope you're happy with that, you cunt. I think you're wrong about Thors Record. It was during COVID and there wasn't any competitions happening at the time or travel. That's no reason to be trying to take records away from each other, if you get me. It was part of Rogue Record Breakers. Was it Rogue Record Breakers? I think. Was it not WUS? It was the only thing going at the time. The Giants Live head ref was giving the down signal and watched the plates being weighed. That's true, and that's probably why it ended up in the Guinness Book of Records and why a lot of people see it as a genuine record. It's just not an official record, a competition record for me. And then down at the bottom you said, yup, it was a legit sanctioned record, and if someone else could pull 502 in their gym, they'd have done it and posted by now. Here's the thing, and I've spoke to Hicksy about this, because I genuinely believe Hicksy can pull a 502 or a 505 deadlift. If I've spoke to Hicksy, obviously, just keeping up with him, just making sure he's okay, because obviously he's feeling like a bit of a cunt right now. So if it is a thing that you're talking shit about him online, just stop talking shit. What are you at? Anyway, that aside, just making sure that he's okay, checking in on him. But I want him to pull the 502 in his gym. I want him just to do it because I know he can do it. And for me, it'll be as official as Thors Record. Do you know what I mean? And plus, it'll be something to watch. I genuinely think he could do it. So if everyone would kindly message Hicks and make him do this record in his gym just for the crack, because why not? I want to see him do it, and it would help his spirits, and it would just prove to himself that all his training hasn't gone to waste. Moving on. Giant Slave haven't got a clue what they're doing, and it's strange because you have a Union Jack in your photo. But anyway, Giant Slave, which just what I mean is you're from England, and anyway, Giant Slave haven't got a clue what they're doing as a promotion. Fuck them. Let them sink. They're not sinking, and have a different entity like Rogue or even Brian Shaw in charge of a brand new promotion, take over, and finally show the world how shows are supposed to be ran. What is wrong with the way giant shows are ran? I think they're probably the best shows. They are the best shows ran, in my opinion. Promoted and streamed, MC'd, etc. What's wrong with the MC? I think Neil does a great job. And you know what? For that, I love when Kaz does it as well. Also, the irony of Robert Oberst commentating on the deadlifts when he doesn't like deadlifts, but he did a fantastic job. I'm personally tired of feeling embarrassed and ripped off when I watch Giants live feeds, Giants live events. First of all, if you're feeling ripped off, it costs what, like €7 or €8 a month, and they're providing something for you to watch. Imagine, for argument's sake, if they went with what you just said there, you cunt, and dissolved Giants live. What would we be waiting all year for? What, 3 competitions? World's Strongest Man, Rogue, which is seemingly turning into a fucking strongest CrossFitter, because they released the events and they look shit to me. It's not even related to strongman. There's no, I don't know. So all we'd have is World's Strongest Man, Rogue, and the Strongest Man on Earth. Giant Slave are providing us with 6 to 7 more competitions to watch this year. What the fuck is your problem? Oh God, look here. See my T-shirt. You're a silly cunt. So that is all, guys. That's all I'm going to do today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you comment, and I'll get back to your comments. I will make another comment video. I appreciate you all. I'd like if you subscribed and hit the like, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much.